It's a warm and hot mid-July day here in America's heartland. As TNT Sports will present live qualifying from Kansas Speedway for Sunday's Wounded Warrior 400. Temperature here is upper 80s today, a little past 2 p.m. here. 1 p.m. here, about an hour past lunchtime. Things to note from the morning practice session, the 18 of Joshua Leanbatch was quickest again in his M&M's Toyota. TNT Sports is ready to present qualifying from Kansas Speedway in a few moments. As the first step from here all the way to our finale at our colleagues over at NBC. We will take you from Kansas to Atlanta, the championship 4. Let's see right here. The 15-minute timer will be starting very shortly. And it's starting right now. As you see, there's several cars waiting on the entrance of pit road. And they have just made their way out onto the racetrack. Including Paula Moon, who won Daytona last Saturday night. '88 out first. It's going to be 2 Exalta schemes for Sunday, driven by the '88 and won by our current points leader, Jacob Tube, who narrowly assumed it over the 4 of Dylan Murway after his second place finish in Saturday night's last Saturday night's Pepsi 400. Right now, there are some pretty interesting stories going on in the garage right now involving inspection and how several teams are still going through that process. Bill, what's the word? Thank you, Alan. Nate Sherman has been was sent through missed qualifying because of inspection issues, or missed pre-qualifying taxi. They're currently measuring him with using the new laser system NASCAR has mandated for the new season. So far, a lot of the tests are returning negative. Just got word that he was behind the 14 and the 6. The 14 KFC Cup, so you see him rolling past behind me in the garage right now. Staying next to Chad Canals right here. Chad, any words on what's causing you inspection issues? Everybody's saying that we're off in the rear, and off in the rear, the rear skew, how everything's supposed to be laid out. We've basically fixed it since about end of halfway through first practice this morning. I don't know why. I mean, thought we've been clean. I really don't want to be the guy that risks basically forces 8 teams to start at the back because of inspection issues, which is not right because Arlo Chevrolet is bad fast today. Hopefully we can remedy this problem. So we can turn some time. By the way, with our knockout qualifying shows this season here on TNT, you can see as we split on the left side of the screen during qualifying, there is a ticker signifying what cars are on track. And on the right side, you'll see the top of your screen. You'll see drivers that have taken time, and on the right side of your screen, you see drivers that have not taken time or are going through inspection issues. There are 8 cars that have completed inspection that have not taken time yet. Those being the 7, 56, 25, 31, 29, 33, 55, and 9. As of right now, the quickest to get driver right now in round 1 of the cars that have taken time today is the 22 of Zox Moon, or 22 Ford. Currently going through a long windless route. All right, bringing down. Doing pretty good. Got a good car. She is followed by the 41 of Hunter Rizzoni, the 20 of Zach Speed, 5 of Hunter Miller, and the 88 of Apollo Moon. Brother, see your brother right there. Obviously, who won the race last Saturday night at Daytona. Your Credit One Bank Fast 5. And then the rest of the field right now, Jacob Tube, surprisingly, is P9 here in round 1. According to last time by, never mind, he's P10. Okay, now he's P11. Currently, Zox Moon is the quickest. You see her pulling down out of pit road. Gonna get cooled off, especially with the temperatures that everybody's been forecasting today. A lot of guys are really NASCAR is going to allow these teams to run extra fans inside these cars to allow for better cooling for the drivers here, because typically we've ran these Kansas races earlier in June, and with how these get, and the reason we start so early is because these drivers want enough time to get early in the day, is so it's cooler, so we don't, these drivers and fans don't bake early on in the sun, as there's pretty much no clouds rumored for the weekend. You see both the Gibbs cars have cleared inspection. Any issues they've had. See the 18 and the 11 coming out of pit road. That's weird. I don't know what the hell that was. Huh. See the 18 and the 11 going to take the green. As initially later on there are some clouds possibly rumored for tomorrow. The temperature is supposed to be a little cooler, but the weather is supposed to be nice all weekend, no rain, which is something we've rarely had this year, a race with no rain. It's either been overcast or rain was part of the conversation. Is what a lap for the 11 P3. Did you see there are 6 drivers that have not taken time yet in this round. See the top 24. We'll move on to the round of 2. to the round of round 2 today. With a little over 6 minutes left, we see there's only more inspection drama from pit road with Nate Sherman. The 2 has been cleared, and so is the 27. Dave. Bill, it's, the qualifying drama continues. Thanks, Alan. Nate Sherman, obviously, in the 48 team, they're all getting more frustrated here because they've never really gotten a chance. They're being told that they are not going to be allowed to take time today. The 42, the 16 also are having the same problems as well. They are being told they are not allowed to take time. The 15 will not take time today. Today, Nate kind of stings. They got to start last on Sunday. You put this into words? I don't even know. I just really hate for our guys. They prepped the guys overnight. They prepped a really good Lowe's Chevrolet today. Chevrolet for the weekend. We were third in practice. We came down. We were going through post-practice inspection, while we got our cars ready, and for some reason the laser machine stage just didn't like the way our cars were set up, I guess. Really hated for the guys. Was hoping we'd be able to put on a little bit of a show today in qualifying, maybe get out of round 1 and actually get a chance to take some time, but can't control everything in life, unfortunately. So I guess we'll have to start from the back Sunday. Anyways, the 2, Robert Smith, taking the green flag. The Lions truck parts forward. So we look at the camera view, literally the bug eye view for this race. It was previously used in the shootout, the duels, and the Daytona 500. So there will be several teams are going to. The 83-48 will be carrying the visor cam for Sunday's race at Kansas. There will be 4 teams that are going to be carrying our special bug eye 360 bug eye camera. The 2 car will be one of them. See, the bug eye camera just gives fans the idea at home of how close people are to each other. And the 2 is gone straight to the top with a blistering lap. New track record. Awesome job, bud. Awesome job. Good job, bud. Bring it down. See the time left. I don't think anybody else is going to be taking time today. Looks like a little over 2 minutes left. Jacob Tube staying down pit road with new pit reporter Kelly Stavis. Kelly, staying next to current points leader Jacob Tube. And Jacob, how do you feel about your car for Sunday? Thanks, Kelly. Our Exalted Chevrolet seemed pretty tight. It was pretty tight all throughout practice, just the way our car was set up to handle. Alan and the guys, we did a run, just kind of shake things down. I think don't really think anybody else is going to be running right now in this session. But anyways, our Exalta Liberty University Chevrolet. We're going to use this time to just adjust on our cars and hopefully be able to put a better result up in round 2. I mean, we were 10th quick. We were basically 15th quickest in the morning session. Since this is an impound race, we can't touch these cars after the qualifying, and then we have a couple more sessions tomorrow in the morning, where hopefully we'll iron out the kinks in our Exalta coating system Chevrolet. But kind of a big weekend for Exalta, as if one of our cars goes to victory lane, Exalta will donate some of the winnings that we get to the Wounded Warrior Foundation. So it's really great that NASCAR is going to be doing that for our warriors that have come back from combat and need help readjusting into society. Thanks, Jacob. Bill? Staying next to the 4 of Dylan Murway. And Dylan, how'd you feel about your car in round 1? Just the way this track is, a lot of guys are complaining that their cars are wrecking loose. Really not sure how and why all that happened. Anyways, our Jimmy John Chevrolet is pretty good. Hopefully, we can get in this second round. Hopefully, we can get some things right for round 2, and hopefully, we can put a good time on the board and be in contention for the pole. All right. Thanks, Dylan. Round 1 is complete from Kansas Speedway. Hey, here. Reminder, later on this weekend, tomorrow, you can watch IHOP Cup Series second practice session at 10:30 a.m. Eastern from Kansas Speedway. Then the final practice at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Where these drivers will try to tune out the kinks in their cars before Sunday's race at noon. Coverage begins Sunday at 12:30 with the running of the Discover Card countdown to green. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern will be the telecast of the Wounded Warrior Foundation 400 presented by Credit One Bank. Penske Fords are quickest in round 1. They really stepped up their intermediate program. Time to go to commercial here. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.
We as scientists don't believe things right off the bat. You always have to be seeking out what the truth really is. Research is the game here because if you can find things out other people can't, then you can act on them.
When researching his personal investments, Dr. John Seeley Brown trusts CSSB Direct. That's because it offers access to 6 leading independent sources, all backed by one of the world's top research firms.
Research is a way to actually get a competitive edge.
People who know CSSB Direct.
Generation D, the generation that is born digital and raised on the net, speaking a language of zeros and ones. Now they're at work, developing websites for wireless internet. And for them, it's a joyride. I feel comfortable with new technology. Work with people who are comfortable. World Generation D. It's time to separate the men from the boys. Superstation original movies with stars of action. It's great basic cable classic studio. Cable's #1 original movie club. The most watched original in basic cable history. And coming in March. Robin Cook, Exceptional Hits, and the Superstation original special War Games. Superstation original movies. Movies that will blow you away. Anyone or anything you can imagine. He knows secrets you've never dreamed of. He knows everything except who he is and where he came from. Well, it does to me what John was dying for. I have no idea who you really are. Number of directors came up high up. Business came along. To get answers, he must face a genius turned serial killer. No, I guess that just makes us down the same dead end. I'm not a psychopath. I'm a sociopath. There's a difference. Please, trust me. Mega series now on TNT. Comes a world premiere movie. The Pretender, 2001. See it for the first time anywhere. Tomorrow night at 8 on TNT. And before the movie, don't miss the Pretender Marathon as TNT airs the final 9 episodes of Pretender starting at 11 on TNT.
When you add up gas, maintenance, insurance, and finance, it comes out to about $8 a day to drive my Saturn. How hard can it be to save $8? Yeah, can I get a number 3? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go cheese-free today. Regarding more, would you like to try and make it up? I don't think so. Of course, your results may vary. You like cheese more than I do.
All kids out of the pool, but don't swim. All kids out. Adults swim. All kids out of the pool.
Back here at Kansas Speedway, getting ready for round 2 of IHOP Cup Series qualifying from Kansas Speedway. And before we do that, if this qualifying session was brought to you by Adult Swim, coming fall 2001, the Cartoon Network, designed to push TV's buttons. By the new Saturn SL2. And by The Pretender 2001. Watch the marathon immediately after live coverage of today's qualifying session from Kansas Speedway. You can see The Pretender episode from the TV show. And you can watch The Pretender 2001 tonight at 8 on TNT. Today on TNT, we do have some things of note. Jessica Shelton moving on to round number 2. Great run for her. Peyton Beasley squeaked in a round 2. And then you have guys like What If Racing, P15 in the first round. Got 10 laps. And we're going to be starting this session in this particular round right now. And so begins the land rush of cars coming out of pit road, led by the 3 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets. Paul Moon in the 88, obviously the quickest of the 3 Hendrick Chevys that moved on to the second round. There were 2 that did not. Noah Spalding in the 25 and Nate Sherman in the 48, but we obviously know why Nate Sherman didn't move on, which was inspection issues. See the 41 coming out, 14, and the 10, and all of the Gibbs cars coming out. Then the Penske cars. The 88 taking some time. Several drivers getting out of the pits. Let's go on board the 5. He will be another one of the drivers using our patented bug eye cam that we previously demonstrated during our Speed Weeks telecasts earlier this year. More cars beginning the land rush out of pit road. Jacob Tube, wrecking tight. This car's tight. I hate this car. Hate this car, guys. This car's fucking tight. And that's his opinion on that. Tough break. Looks like the 24 is having more tightness issues. Dave? Jacob, you obviously heard the radio transmission from the 24. Obviously explaining how tight his car was. Alan Gustafson told him, bring the car down next time by. He's currently sitting 6th quickest on the ground. He's up on the track right now. He's obviously slowing up much worse. Here is we got a spin out of turn 4, and it is the 18. Hold the brakes. Got no one else coming. Down pit road. Yellow flag is out. He did spin out of the way of pit road. He did spin out of the way of other traffic, oncoming traffic at least. He should be good. See Jake 2 in the 24. Suddenly pulling down to the apron. Frustration him continues. Currently slated in 6th. Joshua Leanbatch was in 11th, but that obviously has changed. With his spin, he's dropped to 16th. And yeah, we're going to be making another run here. Hang on, I think I might have spotted my tires a little bit. See the currently 24 drivers that have to. Everybody's taking time, and the slowest of these guys obviously is the 83, and the 31 is not far behind him. And the replay of the spin with 18, just like he was trying to peel off, and car just stepped out. They didn't want to throw the caution there. The reason why NASCAR didn't, because when the 18 spun, was because he was out of the racing groove and he wasn't in danger of getting hit. There were no other cars on the racetrack on pit road coming at him at the time. But here's what the 18 radio had to say. Good job, NASCAR, not stopping the fucking timer when we spun. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. All right, stay cool. We'll check the tires. Check the tires, guys. If we go out and make another run. Joshua's leading batch staying by with Kelly Stavis. Kelly? Josh, obviously you're not very happy with what happened. Can you tell us what was going through your mind before that spin? We were having a pretty good lap. I was trying to stay up with the 20. Not sure why. And then the car I was trying to peel off because Adam told me to get in and check our car, because our car allows us to cool off and make another run. And the car just snapped. But what really pisses me off more about this, because I spun, and normally I was out of pit road, but at the same time, I was dangerous because somebody could have very, very easily barreled in and ran into us, and I had torn up my car as well as their car, and I don't want to do that. NASCAR should have honestly just waved the red right there and allowed me to get everything back together. So we'll check the tires, see if they're good. I think we only flat spotted our left front as we moved down pit road. Didn't want to tear up the car any more than we did. But after we check our tires, if they let us change them, hopefully we'll get back out there. I think Sleebatch, kind of a disappointing qualifying run today. But speaking of an improvement on the other end of the spectrum, look at this. Xavier Sodreska all the way to the pole, and Zoex Moon up to 5th. She got loose off 4. See the current round of 24. Caleb Hoffman currently sits in 12th, honestly, though. Would you want to make another run in this situation? Yeah, if you're like the 10, the 19, the 78, yeah, you're going to make a run. See, the 19 had the right idea. And back onto the racetrack. Minute 50 left. You're 3 and 4. Take the time. Take your time. You see Caleb Hoffman, he's using a lot of from what he watched from Bristol when they put the VHT down at the Cup guys. They haven't done it yet for the IHOP guys. What they might try to experiment with in the fall is he's taking advantage of how slick the track is. See, the 19 was trying to run the high line. Actually helped him gain quite a bit of speed and had a good run going into 1. Tracking towards P4. And see the 78 joining him. And down into turn 3. And see the time has stopped. Caleb Hoffman barely gets into the moves up one spot. WB Network did not have enough time. And there it is. Anyways, WB Network was not allowed to move on, unfortunately.
Are you tough enough to drive a Tacoma? Ready? Are we there yet? For the last time, donkey. No. Are you hot? Cause I'm burning up. Shut it, donkey. I'm sweating like a pig. Only a big pig wearing a sick donkey hair coat. Oh, it's torture. I tell you, Shrek, I am an hot.
Yeah, kind of like that. Sierra Mist. Tastes like shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
Let's do that again.
How are we supposed to get these guys? Get a free Shrek fairy tale with specially marked packages and Energizer Max batteries. Energizer keeps going.
I can't sleep, Mom. There are monsters in my closet.
I have an idea. There, honey. Feel safe?
Now the monsters are in the caravan.
No.
See Monsters Inc. now on DVD and in the Dodge Caravan. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and Honda don't match it.
So, are you still waiting to find that Toyota? You don't have time to think twice. This Toyota Thanksgiving week event ends Monday. Did you hear that? Monday. So go already. Now's the time. But it all ends Monday. Before freestyle, blood glucose testing. Was barbaric. Worse than my influence on. I saw freestyle. I said, this is unbelievable. So we go and we buy it. I test my arm. Okay, where's the pain? So now when I test with freestyle, most of the time I don't even feel it. I just don't know what I would do without it. Freestyle. It will change the way you feel about testing. Small box who will and won't get vaccinated at 11. Tonight on NBC, it's back on Stars. An all-new, very, very puppy Christmas movie. It's called Inspired and Q&A. The show about the bird. Yeah, like fly. It's a very, very puppy Christmas movie.
great offers. Like 0% APR financing for $60 for qualified buyers on almost all 2003 Chevy cars like Malibu, Impala, and Venture. Or get $3,000 cash back on all Chevy cars except Corvette. Chevy Racing, the building blocks for power and performance. See your Central Indiana Chevy dealer today. We drive Chevy. Everybody ready, set, go. Rev it up and let's roll. There's a party in the fast lane. Got my hands on the wheel and I'm flying. Heartbeat loud as the thunder rolls. Riding in on the stampede line and bringing back the sunshine. Bringing back the sunshine. Baby, it's about time. Bring it back.
That was a sneak peek at our new intro for NASCAR on NBC and TNT, premiering Sunday at Kansas Speedway with country music star Blake Shelton. After what seemed like the first half of the year being just consisting of rain and overcast skies, Blake Shelton has brought the sunshine back. And he has brought it back to Kansas Speedway, where we are going to be figuring out who will fight for the pole in the third round of qualifying. 5 minutes, 12 cars. So far, Paul Moon's been probably one of the fastest cars in this session. It's going to be interesting to see how. See if is he going to get the pole or somebody else going to unseat him. Dave. Thanks, Alan. Jacob, too, has got, after his qualifying session where he barely made it in, and he was pretty good. The crew chief, Alan Gustafson, and the crew, 24 crew, were able to work in their cars. They were able to adjust it to his liking, and in these 5 minutes, we're going to see if he's going to be able to continue his knockout qualifying dominance. Other end of the spectrum, Blake Dillon. Blake Dillon has kind of been struggling mid-pack through a good 15th and running between mid-pack and the back of the field pretty much a good majority of the season. So it definitely surprised him when he made it to the third round of qualifying today. Can the 10 finally put with a driver that actually runs good, not like Danica. Runs good and finally put that 10 car on the pole for the first time since 2013. Now, see the timer on the side of the screen pop up. Now, it's time for the pole run here at Kansas. Remember, our broadcast will be Sunday at 12. Begins Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern with the Credit One Bank pre-race show served by Sonic. Now, we're going to be going for the pole. And it's a land rush coming out of pit lane. Looks like everybody's going to be doing what they can. We saw this trick go down at Michigan in the Truck Series a couple years ago. I'm not sure what they're doing, Wally. Yeah, they're just trying to wait and maybe try to get with whoever their Hendrick associated. Like, for example, you see the 24 trying to pull up next to his teammates. And I believe that was the plan, to go out in groups. All four of the Stewart-Haas cars may probably have the best advantage, since all four of their cars have made it to the round of through the 3 rounds, and they're off. Looks like a lot of these guys are doing similar to what you'd see like Daytona and Talladega, maybe just running together in groups. I mean, who knows? It might work. As Apollo Moon first on the chart. This is kind of odd, but who knows? This is like Talladega restart racing right here. See the Gibbs cars conveniently laying back towards the rear of this group. Oh, they're asking to wreck. They're literally asking to wreck each other here in this session. 21 car clears the mess and moves to the top. Xavier, Dylan, Murway here to the top. Wow, Blake Dillon with a blazing fast lap. He laid back with the 14, not as far back as the Gibbs cars, which, by the way, speaking of the Gibbs cars, look who's in second. Zach Speed in the 20, sitting in second right now. The 24 car sits in third. Third quickest as of right now. Get our timer. Really sits at. You have 3 minutes left in this session. Blake Dillon with a Xavier Sodreska from 4th to 1st. This is like restrictor plate levels of qualifying. I feel like we're qualifying under the restrictor plate track here. How everybody's grouped up. Come on, guys. Chill out here. Now, remember, there is rumors of them changing the format later on when we go to doing a similar format. They're going to be doing a rapid qualifying format, experimenting with it next Saturday at Indy with the Sonic Pull Night or Pull Day in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Also, this recent rumors of roval talk and schedule changes. For example, the 22 is shifted the Charlotte race in the fall is originally was supposed to go off Sunday afternoon on NBC, and it is moved to a Saturday night time slot to generate primetime views. Hughes. Again. So far, the 21 and the 10 are kind of toe-to-toe right now in qualifying, even though they're at opposite ends of the line, of this line. And even though Apollo Moon, the way that this round has been, everybody expected him to win the pole. He's currently sitting ninth as of right now. These two cars are literally probably 0.100th of a second off from each other, even though they're in two different ends of the line. There's also rumors that NASCAR will experiment with this, what is simply being described as rapid-fire single-car qualifying, similar to what these drivers used to do. That will be used for Indy as an experiment, but will be mandated at all restrictor plate tracks except the Daytona 500, starting at Talladega in the fall when we go there for the fourth race of the chase. Coverage for that begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, October on NBC. Also, there is some announcements that the Season 6 IHOP Cup Series schedule will be coming out in the next few days, so make sure you stay tuned on that. And it looks like as you look on the right side of the screen, the 10 up to the point. Looks like they've, by at least a good 3/4 of a second over Xavier Sodreska, as he bobbled big time coming off 4. The 11 moves to 5th. Issues with the 19 of Caleb Hoffman? Matt. Alan, after the 19, after part of that 12-car land rush, there's possible concern about radiator smoke from trying to push pushing the 20 going down the backstretch, trying to get him up towards the front. Saying that I feel like may have picked up some trash. I've dropped out of that line. They looked under the hood, see that their engine is indeed blowing up. Said he dropped a cylinder. And definitely a tough break for the 19 of Caleb Hoffman, who probably will be, if things keep up the way they are, will probably be starting in the back of the field on Sunday. And the session is out. Blake, this is probably the most surprising winner we've had this season, or pole winner. Blake Dillon in the 10 will be bringing the field to the green flag Sunday afternoon. Coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. Eastern with the Credit One Bank pre-race show from Kansas Speedway. And then at 1 p.m. live telecast of the Wounded Warrior Foundation 400 from Kansas Speedway at 1 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Later on in the season, as we look at our next few races on our way to the chase, tickets to the race is see the Indy will be next Sunday. Coverage for that race begins at 1 p.m. with the Discover Card, with an hour-long pre-race show of the Discover Card Countdown to Green. Credit One Bank Countdown to Green. And then Saturday night, the first race on our TNT channel. There will be some races on TNT, some on NBC later this year. Coverage for that race will begin at 7 p.m. The Air Guard 400 from Richmond International Raceway. Short track battle. And then we go all the way out to Portland for the first same-day show of the NBC TNT half of the schedule. unfortunately. And yeah, congratulations to Blake Dillon for his first career NASCAR Cup Series pole. He will be leading the field of green with Xavier Sadreska the outside. He put the same setup in that car from when Danica Patrick had that great run at Kansas a few years ago. Anyways, tonight at 8 on afterwards on TNT or Law and Order, or episodes of Law and Order that. Then obviously a couple episodes of the Pretender, and then later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT, The Pretender 2001. And obviously on our Adult Swim family of networks, you can see the schedule there. It actually is rumors that a race will be simulcast on Adult Swim later this year with uncensored radio commentary. That will only be available on the Adult Swim on adultswim.com. That will be Phoenix in the fall. Definitely we have a lot of big things planned here at TNT and NBC for the season. Obviously with our new 360 bug-eye camera that 4 of our teams are going to be carrying throughout the year. And the visor cam will be carried by the 48 and 8 Sherman Sundays. He guts his way through a 34-car field. And obviously with uncensored radio commentary on adultswim.com in partnership with RaceView. Anyways, so long from Kansas Speedway. Tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Eastern for live practice from Kansas Speedway before the final practice session. I'm being told it's moved to 2:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT, and then Sunday coverage of the Wounded Warriors 400 from Kansas Speedway begins at 12:30 with the Credit One Bank pre-race show, and then at 1 p.m. Eastern will be live coverage of the Wounded Warrior Foundation 400 from Kansas Speedway. So long from Kansas.